Hello and welcome back to the Art Channel. This week we're going to be looking at an exhibition of drawings by the American artist Roni Horn, who lives in New York and in Reykjavik in Iceland.
The exhibition is called Butterfly Doubt and it runs at Hauser and Wirth across both of their galleries on Savile Row until the 25th of July. It's an exhibition composed of 3 series of drawings, each with its own title. The first title is Awe, the second set is called Hack Wit, and the third Remembered Words.
So the South Gallery and Hauser and Wirth is a series of drawings called Awe. And these are very large drawings, although it's a bit of a misnomer, isn't it, to call them drawings, because they're made of fragments of 2 different designs that she then merges and incorporates into one large plate. And if you look at the surface, they are remarkably detailed formally in terms of how she cuts and then splices together fragments of these 2 drawings through this process of marrying the separate elements together. So when you stand in front of them, you will see these large orbs of coloured lines, and then you stand close and examine the surface, you will see shreds of card that are seamlessly slotted together, as I think you suggested, rather like marquetry in wood.
They are amazing, and as you say, when you see them from a distance, they seem very straightforward. Actually, they're not. They're incredibly well put together. They are definitely drawings by a sculptor. They're constructed, and they seem very casual when you see them initially. And they are beautifully spliced. They have a kind of geometric quality about you. The way the paper is put together. It's not one layer on top of another layer. The 2 drawings, the 2 layers, do become one. And they do, one looks like a head, one looks like perhaps the centre of a flower. They have a kind of a mass in the middle, and then lines of words that, as you say, lead you off the page, off the edge of the drawing. They are very beautifully constructed, I think.
There are force lines of colour that lead from these kind of cloud-like orbs. And as I was saying, really, it's quite entrancing, isn't it? Looking at the surface. The hard edges of the sculptor knife, how she cuts into the material, and then they align together so perfectly in what is a matrix, really, of fragments of card.
I think it's interesting too because you can see the workings out. She puts these things together and then you can see words and lines and measurements and numbers. So there's nothing hidden, and there's something very engaging about seeing the way somebody makes something, the way somebody thinks.
I wanted to understand how these pieces are put together, but I couldn't find a consistent formula. And I think she's using her eye constantly as she's slotting the pieces of paper together. It's almost like laying a floor, but of course there's no consistent or repeating pattern. Almost every element of the image is unique.
Yeah.
But it coheres together as one whole.
They do have an incredible sense of unity, and of course you're drawn into the text, the words, written with a pencil. You're drawn into the colour, this amazing gouache paint, and you're drawn into the way they absolutely, they just are, they are beautifully made and it couldn't be any other way. They're large drawings, they're sort of metre by a metre, and they do envelop the viewer.
And then in the North Gallery, in a separate space, we have 2 series of drawings. The first is called Hack Wit. And you see how Roni Horn assembles or takes phrases, slang phrases, and then begins to riff with them, to play with them, to interrogate them, using the same process of cutting into an original drawing or gouache painting. The effect is to produce a vibration, a kind of sort of dancing, lack of clear, precise line. So they're almost as if they've been submerged in water or fluid.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes she's obviously enjoying the painting, the actual making of them. And sometimes the act of painting obscures the words or the edges of the letter, which is quite exciting. They're sort of feral typography. You do recognise them, you think you know the phrase, you think you know the way the letter is made, and then again they sort of slightly undermine that. And they're much smaller, they're sort of kind of poster size, and each one is either in a beautiful set of greens or reds or pinks, so they're very luscious, the colours are very luscious.
They actually remind me of concrete poetry and also traditions of wordplay in Dada, in Cubism and Surrealism. The way in which language, of course, retains some meaning, but once you begin to play with it, it becomes slippery and strange, while at the same time she's playing with the formal construction of language itself. So there's a confluence of ideas about language being spoken and heard and shared and in a sense deconstructed.
Yeah, and I did find myself standing in front of them and saying the phrases. There's something about speaking something out loud to understand it, and you're not going to, because they are idioms, phrases put together, and they don't work, but you will they will feel familiar.
There's a sort of madcap rapping taking place. As if she's sort of repeating words and their sounds, and they flow together. So you end up rather confused, but enjoying the experimentation with the language itself and sound, and it's like hearing it in your imagination.
It's successful. The last series of drawings is called Remembered Words in the back gallery, and this I thought was a really successful series. She is again using words. They are sort of she's made them in two ways. They are ordered in little rows, in little grids of sort of coin-shaped circles of gouache paint, and then there are others which almost look like drops of paint have been landed on top of each other. They're much more organic and chaotic. And the first set I thought were really very beautiful. Under each circle, either in Payne's grey or beautiful green or beautiful pink, is a word, a seemingly random word. And of course the human brain just wants to make sense of it, so you're battling to make sense of these grids.
Sometimes I think she's playing on equivalences in terms of meaning, or alternatively in sound and spelling. But they remind me of, they're like metaphors really, the way in which colour can merge and blend and float, and so too can letters and words in the same fashion. And so she's bringing together both image and text, I think in all three series of drawings. And it's very imaginative, it's quite kind of playful and teasing. Some works are more successful, I think you'd agree, than others.
Absolutely. It reminded me a little bit of Joseph Albers, all those wonderful colour experiments, but with much more freedom and, as you say, kind of Dada sensibility. The rules are just there to be bent and broken and kind of forced in different directions. So I think over the two galleries it's a very beautiful exhibition, and I would agree. For me, the first set, the Ore series, because I think they have a great resonance with her sculpture, and I think the way they are made is very muscular, very brave, very engaging. For me, they're the most successful series.
And I just think we need to commend her for that labour, that intensity of looking as she constructs those pieces. It's like almost making a mosaic out of thousands of different fragments that she brings together to find some kind of logic and order. It's that sort of dialogue between the small piece of fragment and this larger sense of structure.
Absolutely, and it's beautiful that you can have a sense of pictorial logic and absolutely no linguistic logic, and that just works. So I think we both enjoyed the exhibition. I think it's a really strong show. She's much better known as a sculptor, so to see the drawings is really interesting. And the show is on to the 25th of July, and I think we should recommend it to you.
Absolutely. So thank you for watching the Art Channel, and please do come back.
Thank you.